there are some youth groups that organizing protests. I can send you links and you can, I don't know, post them or.
I will do that.
Yeah. Also, Doctors for Choice do some small protests as well. Recently, they did on the other island, the sister island of Malta, which is called Gozo. People on social media talk a lot about this. There are like women's groups that I cannot say that the majority is pro-choice, but women are getting more and more involved into the discussion. You know, someone is posting something, then a conversation evolves from that, and even pro-lifers start to have some doubts about, okay, maybe it's not my business what other people do with their own bodies. Well, of course, there are some others who are like, it's a murder, end of the story, like something like that. I think in such a extreme case as the abortion law in Malta, this kind of conversation that happens in social media or on social circles is super, super important, because people, I'm not sure if they are ready for going out and protest for that, as they did in Poland. For example, in some protests, there were just few people, you know, maybe they are still scared about the stigma. But this kind of conversation, I think, is an extremely important part to destigmatize it first for yourself, and then to be able to, you know, spread the knowledge, try to do something for this. So even though it sounds something small, I think it's very vital for the specific situation in the country.
Yeah, because the attitudes around abortion rights, the attitudes that the general people have, that is what the safety of the young girls depend on. Like, it's super important. So, but more about the laws that was proposed. Is it like, how far is that? It's just a proposal, is it?
It was just a proposal.
Yeah.
No progression so far.
Yeah.
Election happened last month here as well. And, there were many anti-choicers groups and candidates that actually brought this to their agenda, that we are not gonna allow this to happen in Malta. We're not gonna decriminalize abortion. So actually, it was part of their agenda that we are not going to do any progress. No, they didn't, but people vote for them. It was not just a tiny majority. Of course, I mean, it's super, super tricky, because even if people, as we said before, even if people believe in the choice and body autonomy, when it comes to public, they won't admit it, they might try to hide it, they're not so confident. For example, now in the European Parliament, we have a Maltese president, Metsola is her name. She used to be anti-abortion, anti-choicer, you know, according to her statements. I don't know her personally. But as soon as she became president of the Parliament, European Parliament, she said things like, we have to go with the European values, you know, something like that. So I'm not sure if it's shifted. A politician's statement, you know, like just for the sake of it, or if her mentality has changed as well. And you know, the more you have these kinds of laws, and the more the pro-choicers fight for this, the more anti-choicer and pro-birthers group start appearing, claiming that we're going to help you if you feel uncertain about what to do with your pregnancy, and as soon as you reach out to them for help, there is a lot of judgment, there is a lot of misinformation. They actually kind of force you to give birth no matter what. They provide you some things probably, for the first months, for babies, and blah blah blah. But this is not the point. If a woman wants to have an abortion, you're gonna trap guilt here in order to keep going with the pregnancy and then give birth, and then what's going on after when they take themselves out of the picture. Because usually women who don't have the funds to support themselves turn to them, or women who are feeling trapped but they don't know what to do. So these are the most vulnerable ones. So if you really want to help someone, you need to give them all the options, all the choices, so they can choose
freely.
As freely as possible. And if you pretend to help them, when you actually make them feel even guiltier about the situation in order just to give the birth, and then after a few months you disappear.
Exactly. It's not only to give birth, it's also to be a parent.
Exactly. What's gonna happen afterwards? And some food and some like financial help. But also, besides this, if you don't want to be pregnant, if you don't want to give birth, no matter how much money they can offer you, you don't want to. Or at least you want to explore all the choices as objectively as possible. Here it's like the hot potato. Politicians are scared to
touch it
or even approach it. This female politician who tried to do it a few months ago, she received so much hate, threats, and I think the society here is not ready for referendum. I have the feeling that it's not ready even for that. I think it will take a while. That's my my opinion. Well, basically, when the first rally happened 3 years ago, before the first rally about reproduction rights in Malta, we people had invited the organizers had invited some people from Ireland, some activists, some advocates for reproductive rights. So they were talking about their own obstacles and how they managed to go through all this. So it was super informative and super interesting to hear. Because it was very recent, and
it's super recent.
Exactly, and these two countries share the same religion as well.
And it's an island. That's super important.
Exactly. Although Ireland is huge.
It's
compared with Malta. So but still, yes, exactly. They have many similarities. It's super interesting to hear from first hand what and how things happened there. Super recent that happened there. So it was super recent for them as well to share. So imagine if you can no longer control women's reproductive rights. What's going on? Like, It's a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, on that note, thank you so much once again. And I'm looking forward to continue the discussion over here. And yes, take care. I'm super happy to see you again.
Thanks a lot. And yes, let's spread the word.
Yes, it will be spread.
Thanks for the invitation, Emma. Thank you.
Thank you, of course. Well.